saying hello on October 11th in the morning from a Zodiac on the Grand River here with Jamie Kent, who is the owner of Grand Experiences, and we're just leaving Paris, Ontario. Beautiful little town here on the Grand River, and you were going to tell me something about the architecture.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Paris is known for is cobblestone architecture. There's about 24 buildings in Paris made of cobblestone, which is a smooth, round rock that they would get, you know, the river-washed rocks, all about the same dimensions, they're long and round, and they would use those in place of bricks to make buildings, and they're beautiful buildings. There's 2 churches and a number of old homes made near the 1800s cobblestone. They're very unique in Canada.
Do you know how big Paris is, actually? Because it seems like a fairly small community.
It's a small community. It's about 9,000 people.
Okay.
And a lot of older Victorian homes, really well preserved. In the late 1800s, it was moved from being the gypsum deposits and milling of gypsum and plaster of Paris into textiles. And then Penman's was located here.
Oh, Penman's was a Canadian company,
actually, the Penman Mansion is here in Paris.
Really?
It's called Penmarvian. And in 1900, Paris was the home of the largest textile industry in the British Empire. So we had dams on both the Nith River and the Grand River, which are both in town, and so lots and lots of water power that run all of their mills. Wow,
so lots of garment production in that time.
Yep.
Is any of that left now?
Some of the buildings are left. They've been converted over to condominiums, and they're really beautiful buildings.
Great.
One of them is called the Pride of Paris. It runs along the Nith River with a beautiful view as well as
really?
a building.
Okay. So when people take tours with you, they also have a chance to maybe catch the architecture along the way?
There actually is one particular building here, the Old Town Hall, is the oldest form of its architecture. I think it's a Gothic style of architecture with without supports inside the main hall of the building. It's the oldest form of that type of architecture in Canada.
Oh, really?
It's in Paris. There's a lot of really cool architecture here.
Great, excellent. And you were explaining to me before that not only do you do river experiences, you also do mountain biking?
Yes.
And native travel experiences?
We do hiking and we do snowshoeing in the winter months.
Snowshoeing as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you go snowshoeing around here?
We do it in lots of conservation land in the area nearby the river and on the Nith River as well as the Grand.
Okay.
So we do some with cabins. You can stay overnight in log cabins.
Oh, yeah?
You can do day trips. One of the beautiful spots to go is called Pinehurst Lake. But we have a lot of different venues here for that.
Great, excellent. Well, there's lots of stuff to do here. Let me give you a little panoramic view now. This is, of course, all still part of Paris, I would imagine?
Yes.
And there's a breakwater wall type of thing that stabilized the riverbank. You're saying it's a really well-managed river, actually.
It is. Back in the later 1800s and early 1900s, actually to the 50s and 60s even, the river, you know, got a little wilder every year as there's more development into farmland into cities upstream.
Yeah.
But as we got into the 70s and 80s, the GRCA, the Grand River Conservation Authority, really took an active hand in taming the river, controlling it through a series of dams and reservoirs, and also tree planting. They planted about 1.5 million trees along the river way in order to manage the flow much better. So absorb water during spring runoff and during rainy periods, and then release water during the dry periods. So they've done a fantastic job of controlling the river. I
can imagine it must have been a challenge in the past managing the power of the Grand River.
It's 300 kilometers long, just the Grand itself, that has many, many tributaries, and it's the largest watershed in southern Ontario. So there's a lot of power in the river. Really? Now, please tell me also about the historic significance of the Grand River in terms of, see, now it's getting quieter. I just wanted to show you they're not rapids, but there were fairly significant waves up there. Those are called swifts. It's a little bit lower class than the rapid.
Okay. But the Grand River also is significant as a heritage river.
Yeah, it's a Canadian heritage river. One of the older ones. And a lot of Canada's history took place along. A lot of different cultures. The Six Nations, Iroquois, is home to the Grand River.
Yes.
They came here after fighting the American Revolution on the side of the British. They
were loyal to the British Crown.
Yeah. The British Crown gave them 6 miles outside the Grand River back in the 1700s. And they settled along here, and they're still here. And we do a lot of work with the Six Nations. Awesome tourism project they offer. And powwows and storytelling, and all kinds of stuff.
And overnight experiences for that, right?
Experiences as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then also the Mennonites settled in the upper Grand River.
Right.
So around the Laura area.
Yeah. St. Jacobs, that area.
Yeah. A lot of really cool Mennonite. There's still the old iron bridges still exist up there. So we'll paddle on the little bridges. Now you'll see a Mennonite carriage going across the bridge.
Yeah, I
really
went to St. Jacobs last year, and it's just something so different seeing that Mennonite culture as well.
And then a lot of Scottish settlement along here, and English. A lot of different cultures settled along the river, and they all kind of came here in harmony.
Yeah.
What's great is the river is tied them together, and they've really been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Living
together without a problem.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, thanks. You've given us a great introduction of this heritage river. Let me give you a little view here. See how peaceful it is. It's almost, it's not still, but there's not too many waves going on, and we'll come back to you a little further downstream. Thank you, Jamie.